Oh, what are we doing today? Welcome to the show. It's the Blathering Live. I'm Ken Napzok. You are here live, or you're watching later. I appreciate the later crowd, too. If you're watching later, leave a comment right now on the YouTube page. If you're listening on the podcast, God, I love you, too. That's a band, but also I love you listening to the show podcast form. And thanks to those on the Napzok Network who listen to a Monday morning show. You can get the video version, my Patreon page, or the YouTube channel. Memberships here. We had an emotional episode this morning. I think I made Kingsport Cal cry. Lot going on in my brain. And none of it good. But I'm glad you're all here today. Steve says, gonna try and call in earlier if I can, but gotta finish baby bedtime. That's so sweet. Steve, producer Steve, celebrating a big win. We'll get to the big game, the game part of it. Franny's barking in the background. Why? The studio door is open. Franny and I have been left alone for almost a week now. Mama comes home tomorrow, and we're both frazzled. On the show tonight, we are going to be talking about America's halftime, the halftime performance that is the world talking. No one's surprised about that, but it's been a fascinating thing. And me, probably the least qualified to talk about it, is going to talk about what I do think we're going to have a special Kendrick Lamar correspondent. Jared the Dark Jedi is going to call it tonight. I know he's just chomping to go with Kendrick Lamar thoughts, and I need him there because one of the things I'll say is I was ultimate middle-aged white guy watching the halftime show with a bunch of people at a party. I didn't go to a party. It was at Mark Ellis's house, but at halftime we went upstairs to another apartment where there was a party to watch halftime. And I just sat there doing this. I just sat there like looking at everyone like, yeah, I can't believe he did that. What did he say? I was the most white middle age I've ever been. But it was fascinating to observe all of it. And I have some thoughts on that there. We got double of Jared's calling in. We got Chris calling in. We got Brennan Marr calling in as well. Love the regulars. Also, definitely want new voices to call in too. So if you're out there lurking in the shadows, become a YouTube channel member. You might have a gifted one. Check to make sure. You can call in, or you can support at patreon.com/KenNapzok and get the links as well. Highlighting some stuff on the Patreon page. I put up my comedy sets there when I can. This is Ken Napzok's Hot Burbank Nights 2 is up. The first one is up. There's one, which is about a 40-minute set. This one's a 25-minute set. I just did a set that was 10 minutes. It was a fun set. Got some good 4K tape. I think I'm going to toss that one up there as well. A lot of you are generous with super chats. Always appreciated. If you want to help the show, help me, you can do super chats. I get to the questions later. We call them super blathers. Going to about 5 o'clock today. So about the 5 o'clock hour, we'll answer those super blathers. Or you can scan the QR code there on the screen if you have the ability, and you can support directly as well. Breaking news: Justice Department seeks dismissal of Eric Adams' corruption case. Okay, we'll get to that one too. I'm not fully educated on that one there. All right. Booing or cheering? That's the big question. That's one of the things. Like many of us watching the big game yesterday, and during the national anthem, I believe around that time, which was a great John Baptiste, right? He did great version. We took the over in the prop bets, and it's a good thing. It was over. We get this cutaway shot to Donald J. Trump saluting the flag that he shits on, and Ivanka there. Rare Ivanka appearance too, and very clearly, look, I've watched enough pro wrestling to know when they have to edit out the boos and they have to put on the fake cheers when Hulk Hogan enters the arena. That was some piped in, not from the stadium, from the feed itself. And a lot of people took the feed. Now, there's some debate. I saw some people like, no, there was some cheering. And I don't doubt that there was some cheering. Trey Crowder, comedian Trey Crowder, great YouTube channel, great follow on social media, had a great car video today. He does the good kind of car videos, just saying, yes, not shocking that there'd be some cheers for President Trump. And I echo what Trey said of, it's still early. those egg prices are still manageable. Wait till the coffee and the eggs and everything, the still price. Wait till everything's hitting you in the face. And then we'll see if they're still cheering from those that voted for him. But there's a lot of people clearly that voted for him. So there's going to be a lot of people in a big NFL game, which has a mixed fan base, to be clear, but also brings in some certain people. And they're going to cheer for the guy. That's kind of the problem right now. I've always said, it's one thing when there's a crappy Star Wars podcaster grifting. There's another thing when all the fans are sticking around. I have sometimes more of an issue with the fans. Now I have issues with President Trump beyond the fans, but you know what I mean? I'm not surprised. But the reality was he was booed. Mother Trucker was booed. And we don't have a lot of wins. And I had a friend I was watching the game with, was getting reports from people in New Orleans, in bars going, during that thing popped up, that shot, the John Cena flag salute, that popped up from President Depends, and the bars rained down boos, cascading boos coming down. So not a big win, but I like it. I'm going to take it today. A lot of calls lined up here. Jared says, Ken doesn't bite. Call in. Ken doesn't bite hard. Jared, you don't know yet. You know how hard I bite. I wanted to talk a little bit about America's halftime. We're going to take a call here to help me get through it. I joke because this is probably not the correct face and age to talk about it, but I start here. I enjoyed it. I am long removed from the days in which I see a performer, style of music that doesn't connect with me, and I am long removed from the days where I then say, that means it's bad. 22 Grammys, Kendrick Lamar ain't bad. Do I own any of his albums? Not yet. But after yesterday, maybe. I really enjoyed the performance. I enjoyed witnessing it from my kind of confused. Wait, did he say Drake's name? Was that Drake? Because someone in the room tell me Drake. Was that Drake? Wait, that was Serena, right? I didn't until yesterday. I didn't know Serena and Drake had dated before she got married. I didn't know that. I learned that yesterday. I love that a lot of America learned of the Crip Walk dance yesterday. It was a very educational experience yesterday for America. That's why I'm calling it America's halftime. The American flag built on the backs of the black men dancing behind Kendrick was a powerful statement. Sam Jackson is Uncle Sam, playing the part of the trolls and the commenters and the haters, getting out ahead of it. Genius. The energy, the snarkiness, the grin. And Kendrick does what we wanted him to do, or what the fans wanted him to do. The entire stadium saying in A minor. I had to learn what that meant later because I wasn't keeping up on the Drake and Kendrick feud. It was a fantastic artistic performance. The fallout was predictable, which we'll talk about. The fallout was predictable. A lot of people going, well, that sucked because that wasn't for me. You have to look up the history. We've talked about it here in the shows before. You have to look up the history of things like disco sucks, rap is crap, even country music. If you don't, I grew up in a town where we were told rap is crap and country music sucks, which was funny because we had K-Jug Radio, which was a big country music station, and a lot of cowboys in our neck of the woods. It comes from problematic areas. It comes from problematic truths that we cannot turn away from. Disco sucks. By the way, disco ain't my favorite kind of music, but the movement was very much of the gay community, very much of the queer community in the 70s. It was very from the streets, from a lot of black folks found themselves in disco music, and white America pushed back. White America pushed back and tried to literally destroy it in the streets. The hip hop, rap, urban music, urban categories on radio started to rise in the 80s. Run DMC breaks through. What was the pushback from? It wasn't just about, oh, I don't like that style of music. It's definitely coded in a lot of problematic things. Problematic being the kind word for racism. Yesterday, after you could hear the Twitter, you could hear the clicky clacks of the keyboards of those pushing against Drake, and the Charlie Kirks and the Matt Walshes, and probably some elected officials that I miss. Predictable. In their snooty, well, what is this? And that was also part of what I think Kendrick Lamar knew he was playing with, and he played it perfectly. It truly was America's halftime. But we're going to dive into it here in a little bit. Let me catch up with some wonderful things here. Jake Yakoveta is here in chat. Good to see Jake here, Kingsport Cow. And Jake gifted some memberships. Love that. Oh, no. You have a membership. I read that wrong. But welcome. You have a membership now. Jake, you have a membership now. Okay. I'm going to take a sip of my drink, sir. Welcome to the Blathering. We're going to have our first caller of the day. We also got, he gave a member chat. Thank you, King's Workout. We also got a super chat from Malcolm, and we're going to answer that question. We got Super Blathers coming in at 5 o'clock. All right. They call him the Dark Jedi, but really, he is a beacon of light. Please welcome Jared back to the show.
Hello there. I am good. I am great after last night. I am amazing after last night. I got, I think, 2 or 3 phone calls specifically just to check on me after the performance.
Now, this is great. Now, you were on the show, what was it, Saturday, right? We had you call in? Were you there Saturday?
I was
Friday?
Not,
Friday show.
Friday, yeah, because I wasn't there Saturday. I was unfortunately working, but yeah.
God bless you. How's the job? I'd like a job. Let me ask you this. So, you called on Friday. You kind of set us up for this. I'm joking, but I'm also trying to own the truth. I was loving the halftime performance. You just left a comment there. This is a Pulitzer Prize winner. This is his
album Damn in 2017 is the first hip hop album to ever win a Pulitzer Prize.
And I don't even know exactly how that happens, other than it's impressive. So he's an artist, but I sat there making this face, Jared. What did he do? What did he do? Walk me through it. Talk about the impact. Talk about the things that are still going to be discussed.
So to set the table to understand this performance, I think one of the main things you have to understand is like the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar beef of like 2024. And to like give like the Reader's Digest version of that.
Yeah.
Drake and Kendrick Lamar had been on bad terms since like 2014. They had both collaborated very early on in both of their careers. Kendrick has a couple feature verses on some of Drake's early albums. Drake has a feature verse on one of Kendrick's. They both appear as featured artists on mutual collaborators and colleagues of theirs work many times. So eventually there's a falling out between them.
Okay. Sorry. Would you call them friends or just coworkers, acquaintances, allies?
I think at one point they were friendly. I think Kendrick, trying to remember, I believe Kendrick was opening for Drake at one point very early on.
And of course, Drake comes from TV land. I remember watching him on that, was it Degrassi?
Yeah,
I remember seeing him in Degrassi. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
So, and early on in Drake's career, he had to work really hard to get a lot of credit out of hip hop because, the number one, and granted, again, like white guy from friggin' Pittsburgh here. So like, this is somebody who's listened to the people who know these stories firsthand. Right. I don't have any claim to this. I'm a fan of the culture. I'm a visitor in it. It is not mine to claim at all. I just absorbed the lore a lot.
It's a lot of lore.
But like number one in hip hop is authenticity. Right. If it's not authentic, if it's not real, it can be smelled from a mile away. And Drake was always fighting that battle uphill of trying to be perceived and given the credit as real. Some of the reasons he wasn't given that credit early on were unfair. It was because he was, a half Jewish mixed kid who came from Canada who got his start on friggin' Degrassi. Where like it was he wasn't it was almost the Will Smith effect of the way that like people would clown on Will back in the day, back in the Fresh Prince days.
Right.
Other parts of it were that he was infamous for just kind of trying on Black American subcultures
Drake
and just kind of running with them.
Okay.
Whereas Kendrick has always been a like dyed in the wool. I am a rapper from Compton. My roots are deep. My roots are strong. I refuse to let anybody, kind of muck with or over commercialize the culture. And the feud that came to a head between them had everything to do with like a battle for hip hop soul. That by the time we've hit 2024, both of these guys have been working for well over a decade.
Decade of dominant.
Drake is the biggest rapper on the planet, at that point. He is, and at this point, he is, taken a little bit away from Atlanta. He's taken a little bit away from like UK drill. He's taken a little bit of from the Florida scene. And he's just been like grabbing all of these different like subcultures of hip hop,
soaking it up,
and trying it on in the most inauthentic
way. He's not influenced. This isn't Paul Simon releasing Graceland, which also was controversial. This is like he's like, ooh, what will work? Am I right there?
Yes, that is exactly it. That is exactly it. A lot of it is just like your cosplaying is different Black American cultures, and it offended and upset a lot of people. Right. There's videos and songs of Drake singing in a patois accent. Motherfucker, you're from Canada.
Right.
I don't know why you're asking about Wagwan. No, that's not who you are. It's
Be
disingenuous.
Yourself.
Exactly.
Be yourself. Okay.
That is where it comes from. And on top of that, Drake being a very scummy dude, all of the stuff with him being weird with underage women and women who are of age and still being a total creep, and his whole circle just being full of weirdos and tool bags.
Okay. Hangers on.
Yeah.
And
comes in like the lunatic Avenger he is to take Drake out at the knees this past May. So that's like the big like table setting.
That's the setting.
Like
that's
where this came from.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. So that's that. But so he goes to the performance. What were you talked about on Friday? I don't want to remix it, and I don't want to slog this all down with my dumb questions. But what delivered for you? What the visuals, the message? I think President Trump had left by this point because he didn't stay too long, especially after getting booed. I'm sure that sucked for him. Oh, boo, boo, boo. But what were you expecting? Did you get it? Go to the highlights.
Yeah, I got everything I wanted. I had no idea what to expect from the set list. So I was very happy with it. A lot of it was his newer stuff. The two songs in the middle, Humble and DNA. The one that he did with like where the dancers were in the American flag, and then the song after that are from the Pulitzer winner Damn. And then the other songs are either from The Beef or his album that came out in November, GNX. And I was very happy to hear all of those songs. I was blown away by the performance because it was the classic Kendrick Lamar masterclass in storytelling. So much of like the iconography of The Beef that Kendrick provided was that of like this visual idea of he, as much as Kendrick has always openly criticized America for being all of the things that it is to a Black man. He also has taken on this like weird sense of patriotism in the face of going head to head with Drake, of like one of the funnier bars. But like one of the funnier bars, like from one of the diss tracks, Euphoria, where he's talking about like, I heard some of them don't like the West Coast. Well, that's fine. You can't, you can adopt my heritage, but you can't imitate this violence, and it's this whole idea of like, you cannot put on the airs of a Black American man. And so much of like the Not Like Us music video is red, white, and blue. The music video dropped on 4th of July last year. So like, I was like, so the red, white, and blue, it's equal parts like him putting down a flag during the second Trump administration of like, hey man, we're America too, and you're gonna have to put up with that. And also, hey Drake, this is America. Remember, this is King Kendrick's land. So I very much appreciated that element of it. It was just so masterful as it always is.
Can I ask you this? If Kendrick goes into Canada, do they boo him much like when Bret Hart would go back to Canada? They cheer him when he was the heel at WWE. So is there what's that like?
I don't know. I truly don't know how Toronto is going to go for Kendrick. That's Drake's hometown. He is going to Toronto on his Grand National tour that's coming up. Yeah. Drake tried to be petty and tried to buy out all of the tickets for the Toronto show to try to avoid people being able to go. At which point Kendrick and his team at PG Lang all went, okay, cool. Well, since all the tickets are bought, people can they'll just be first come, first serve at Toronto then. So everybody can still come. So it's a sold out show. So like people still want to see him. And Drake has pissed off everybody. I'm sure like he has his hangers on. He has his hangers on, but he is a falling stock in terms of
he's got Drake's got I see everything in terms of pro wrestling. He's got go away heat where he's not drawing the heat from the crowd in a good way. It seems like go away heat. This is the X-Pac heat. Yeah.
So every time Kendrick does something, the first reaction from everybody is, God, Drake is probably about to jump off of a bridge right now. Like, and it is ubiquitous. It is ubiquitous. And it's crazy that just a couple years ago, this guy was just an unstoppable juggernaut.
Does he respond? This is what this white American podcaster wants to. Does Drake respond? Does he come back? Does he play at the CFL championship game at halftime? The Toronto Argonauts versus the Winnipeg Heart Hogs or something?
Every response from Drake in the last few weeks has been hilarious. He did a show in Australia the other day as everybody's hyping up Kendrick and like he won all the Grammys and he's going to call Drake a pedophile at the Super Bowl. Aside from the lawsuits, obviously, which are also hilarious. Like he came out to one of his shows in Australia wearing a shirt that was riddled with bullet holes with smoke coming off of the back. And it's like he's unable to respond in a way that is not deeply corny.
Yeah. It's okay.
You know, and he sold all of his cred by these lawsuits. Like he couldn't just take this L like you should as a rapper. This isn't the first time he got annihilated in a rap beef like this either. And he kind of walked off and he was able to walk that first L to Pusha T back in 2018 off. He's not doing that this time. He's posting through it and it gets uglier every time he does it.
That's good. So taking it back to the halftime show here and America's halftime. I'm not, when I say I'm not surprised by the reaction and where the deep problematic roots of people disparaging music that's not necessarily for them or that they don't understand. How much of that do you feel with the Sam Jackson, his Uncle Sam and everything? He built that into the show, as far as I can say. He was playing with that idea of, I know a lot of you are not going to get this. Where did he succeed as an artist in that realm?
I mean, to answer that question, I want to refer back to his Pulitzer winner, Damn. On Damn, there are in the first few songs, he samples clips of Fox News talking about him. Because for his previous album, To Pimp a Butterfly, he did this iconic performance at the BET Awards of his song All Right. And in the song, he goes, we hate Popo, want to kill us dead in the streets faux show, and is the line. And I say it like that because that is how the sample of Fox News reading the line is spoken on the album. And, he works it into his music. And, there's a line where he on Damn, where he's speaking directly to Geraldo Rivera, being I'm not a politician. I have ambitions to do bigger things than just be your target to talk about why my music is destructive, or in the words of Geraldo Rivera, hip hop has been more destructive to black people than racism in recent time. Which is a soundbite that Kendrick samples on the album because he is that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Kendrick has always been aware of the fact that like his music, his just aggressively pro-black messaging is never going to be something that like people are that white America is never going to not kind of balk at. And yeah, he built that in, and I think he knew that after having this smash hit song of the summer with Not Like Us, that I think on some level Kendrick was like, okay, I think that there's a certain chunk of American pop culture that got way too comfortable with hearing my voice. I need to remind them what I believe, who I am.
Who I am as an artist, right?
Yeah, and that, and all of his music does come back beautifully to this concept of like a sinister Uncle Sam going, "Hey, it's too out, it's too loud, it's too ghetto,
tighten up.
Tighten up." And I was like, and I was nodding along. I'm like, I was like, oh God, I love the subtext of this. And then Sam Jackson just said it, and I said, and that is the beauty of Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar and George Lucas have one thing in common, and that is they know sometimes subtlety isn't going to cut it.
Isn't going to work. Yeah.
You need to beat them over the head. You need to make sure they understand this with zero ambiguity and what this is trying to say. And it still doesn't work sometimes.
Well, it worked. It worked. We're talking about it. The world's talking about it. And my favorite thing, the final point to you here, Jared, the favorite thing I saw a thread of was forget the far right people attacking this and talking down to Kendrick and the performers at halftime. There's the other half of the right that has no media literacy, no understanding of art and the messages that it contains. And they were like championing it. Finally, a flag back. Oh, proud America. What a great thing that this man has done for our country, missing every point in the statement. I absolutely appreciate that. That shows me that it worked even more, that we got the media literate people celebrating it for entirely different and wrong reasons.
I mean, listen, did you know that U2 and Kendrick Lamar have a song together?
No.
It's off the Pulitzer Prize winning Damn. The song is it's called XXX. The one of the refrains, one of the parts that Bono sings, like the main kind of like chorus of, America, God bless them if it's good to you. But like, it's not a place this country is to be of a sound of drum and bass. You close your eyes to look around, and then, Kendrick picks it up. Hail Mary, Jesus and Joseph. The great American flag is wrapped and dragged with explosives, compulsive disorder, sons and daughters, barricaded locks and borders. Look at what you taught us. It's murder on my street, your street, back streets, Wall Street, corporate offices, banks, employees and bosses with homicidal thoughts. Donald Trump's in office. We lost Barack and promised never to doubt him again. But is America honest, or do we bask in sin?
Beautiful. No wonder Bono wants to work with him.
Yeah, that's your flag bearer, everybody.
Yeah. And then Jared, the type we had the dancer with there's a Palestinian flag, Sudan flag, and I believe they were banned from NFL stadiums, but that might be a false headline. I read.
I didn't see that at all.
Jared, thank you for the breakdown. I couldn't have done this without you. It was fantastic to watch, even though, again, I didn't when I say I didn't understand, I mean, I literally didn't understand. I was 2 steps behind. I was laughing at myself all the way home, thinking that might have proven my age. But you can always push past your age, your own limitations, and discover what is there, both for you, but for those who are clued in, listening, and experiencing the art as intended. It was a beautiful thing, and I appreciate you breaking down. Eventually, we're going to have you do some more than just Kendrick Lamar explaining to me, but I appreciate it.
Of course. Well, hey, I'm happy to explain anything, especially if it's one Kendrick Lamar. But happy to be here, and happy to be the white man's guide to K-Dot.
Love it. Jared the Dark Jedi, everybody. Please give him a follow and support him over the Nerd Academy podcast as well. Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.
Jared calling in. You guys are having fun. A lot of people checking in today. This is Blathering Monday. We'll be live Thursday. We'll be live Saturday this week. I haven't got the stream links up yet. So Kingsport Cow, don't ask where they are. I haven't got them up yet. We are going to get some calls here. Jared, the TIE pilot on deck. Brennan, Chris, Cal, Anthony, Jonathan here. I'm here till about 5-ish today, so we'll get to the calls here shortly. But highlighting some things that I want you to see as well. Speaking of great art, my pal Aaron Alexovich has a new graphic novel out called Shock City. Story 2 kids trying to survive in a town run by a fascist. Timely art supports independent artists. Aaron Alexovich previously has done a ton of things, but also you might know him for his work on Invader Zim, part of the team that made that show possible in the early days. You can also relax. We all need to relax with my friend Scott's Blue Star Meditation, available wherever you find your podcast. Just search Blue Star Meditation and relax, because we all need it. We all need to relax. Rich T says, can you think you'll go live during the NFL draft at the end of April? Usually the first round is on Thursday. Yeah, which is weird. I remember when, in my day, the NFL draft was like 12 rounds and they held it on the weekends. No, you know what's funny? There's a slight chance it's on paper. I'm going to have to get a job here soon that probably will crimp my travel styles and freedoms. But on paper, there's an idea for some of us to go to the NFL draft this year, because I believe it's in Green Bay. So we'll see. Maybe I'll boo a Dolphin pick every now and then. All right. Jared the TIE Pilot's next. Good to have you here, Jared. I also want to shout out. Sorry, Jared. Shut up, Jared. Don't talk, Jared. Michael, thanks for the donation on the PayPal link. Appreciate that to directly help the show here as well. All right, Jared the TIE Pilot, you're here.
I am.
What's on your mind? Please defend Boston.
Oh, well, it defends itself. We've been over this. You constantly have to bring it up. That's meaning I win.
Are you saying I'm the Drake of California Boston's feud, or LA and Boston's feud? I'm the Drake of that feud? Wow.
I wouldn't put it on you like that. And okay. also don't feel bad, because I was also that white boy watching it going, I don't get it. I have no idea what's going on.
But to be clear, I think what you're meaning what I'm meaning, where I'm like, I get the experience and the art and everything, but I just literally was like, awesome. I'm 10 steps behind everything here. Did he say Drake's name? I didn't even, I was like, oh, he didn't say Drake's name. And everyone's like, what are you, idiot? He said it. He did the thing.
I didn't even know there was a thing to try to notice.
I'm like, where's Neil Diamond?
Oh, but I was watching it with just a buddy and his wife, and the only thing that we were confused about that we ended up looking up was who was the girl with them.
With
SZA.
Yeah, a former Drake paramour. This I know. I'm so steeped in this stuff now. I'm almost feeling cool.
Right.
Yeah. Eric Elliott says y'all under a rock. That's I was like, I was laughing. And everyone was glued. It was like a prize fight. Like everyone was glued. We had an incident where someone who we didn't. It was a mixed bag of guests at this little Super Bowl party we crashed, where you don't know everyone, and someone that we didn't know did a shush. They shushed the rest of the room in an aggressive manner because the fight was starting. It was impressive. It was impressive. Ken Bloom says, you mean Serena Williams? No, there was Serena and
TikTok explained that one to me.
Yeah,
because I saw the girl dancing and I was like, just thinking, okay, another dancer, whatever. Then just doom scrolling this morning, having everybody explain it to me.
I knew it was Serena, but I just didn't know she had dated Drake. I watched enough tennis to be like, oh, that's great. That's great for Serena. But again, this is me, white man at the party. Hey, look at that. Hey, do you know that's Serena? And everyone's like, yes, asshole. She dated Drake. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's great for her.
Right.
So, it's fun. I was glad. That's why I was glad to have Jared the Dark Jedi explain it all. All right. Before I got a lot of calls lined up here, Jared. So I don't want to get too long without getting your main point of the call. What can I help you with tonight?
So I needed a 90s DJ opinion for this one.
Okay.
So we're doing a little medley of some fun 90s stuff, and one of the blocks for doing is the kind of boy band stuff. So we're doing the Want It That Way, Backstreet's Back, Wannabe by the Spice Girls, and Bye Bye Bye. Is there any others from those? Because that's where we lost it, because we're like, we don't know any other songs.
Of the just boy band, I mean, you got Spice Girls, so you're just going 90s pop.
Yeah.
Man, can you do a punk cover of Bop?
Yes.
Okay. I would do that.
Yep.
There was see, I see a lot of it goes in the early 2000s.
That's fine too.
Yeah, because then you start going into like not punk pop, but like, yeah, there was a band, Innocence. I actually guarded Innocence for a night, executive protection of the band Innocence, managed by Justin Timberlake's mom, who I met. Talk about celebrity sightings. I don't remember any of their songs, but I would unearth, do all those big popular ones, and then unearth one that people aren't familiar with, but then turn it into just a punk rock banger, and just re-own that song as your own.
What was the other big Spice Girls song other than Wannabe? Didn't they have a few? Two
Become One, Spice Up Your Life. What's the I'll give you I'm giving you everything. Yeah, I love them. All the titles are not jumping in my head right now because it's been a while.
That's where we were like that too. And I see, what was it? Kingsport actually just reminded me. That's right. There was a band called 98 Degrees. They tried.
98 Degrees. LFO, Summertime, Gyros. Okay, Scotty, you're making me girl on LFO. A lot of people want LFO. I don't remember LFO.
Me neither.
Brian wants Atomic Kitten over the Spice Girls. I mean, you can't go wrong there too. I remember Rich T says, I remember Eminem doing mock lyrics of the LFO chorus. Why am I not remembering LFO?
Right? This one's beyond me.
I mean, here's the thing. I just did a search on LFO. They look like every other band. That was part of the problem. And again, not talking down to if you are a boy band fan and you danced to it in the 90s and dance to it now, ain't a judgment. They all look like their name Brad, Chad, and Marcus, and they're all like, it's all the one band that would just sang across the world during this time.
Yep, the only one I can pick out from photos is the Funky Bunch, because you can tell by the 80s clothes.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of problems. Okay, but that's my one thing. I know he's a Boston boy. I apologize.
We don't claim him.
Yeah. Oh, and for the first time ever, by the way, sorry, if you're trying to call in, for the first time ever, the call room is full. We got calls coming through the wire. This is great, so keep calling in. But Jared, do me a favor, do the Mbop Hanson Brothers punk rock cover, and let us know how it goes.
Definitely. All right, you get to your callers. Everybody be safe. Love you all.
All right, thank you, Jared the TIE Pilot, calling in. So keep calling in. This is great. We got a lot of calls here tonight. If you want to call in, you got to become a YouTube channel member or a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/Napzok. I have links pinned on the Patreon side with the studios to call in. In YouTube, it's community tab. I don't know if I have that pinned. Maybe I'll try. If not, I'll have to redo that. I want to bring in our good friend here, producer Steve, because I know he's got a baby he's putting to bed, and that's important. So Steve, at this point, I just kind of want to hand the microphone to you as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. How's Monday going for you?
Oh, this was the best Monday in a very, very long time, Ken. Thank you again for having me.
Okay, and Steve's doing the baby is asleep whisper, and I respect it.
No, baby's asleep, but yeah, we're being respectful of the baby. If I'm not too loud, I apologize.
No, you sound great.
No, it's man, it was a hell of a day. I took PTO today. It was like the greatest decision I ever made.
You took time off. I respect it.
Oh yeah, and as soon as they won the NFC Championship, I put it in. Like win or lose. Even if they lost, I had a day to like emotionally recover and just be smart.
That's smart. So, at what point in the game did you? 2 points. when they take an early lead, I'll say 17-0. The Cooper Dijon touch. Is it Dijon or Dijon mustard?
Cooper Dijon.
Cooper Dijon, birthday boy, takes a pick six back. Was that the point where it started feeling real that you're actually in the lead? And then what was the point, if ever, that you were comfortable?
So great questions. Yeah, the Cooper DeJean pick was the first moment that I celebrated and started getting like a little bit cocky as far as like, oh, okay, 17-0 is like the Chiefs have to do something
right
more than average to come back from this. Teams come back from 1 or 2 possessions all the time. 17 is a lot. Totally doable, but a lot. And the fact that Cooper DeJean is a rookie, his first ever interception is a pick six against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Is just, if you're a defensive back, that's the dream right now. Tom Brady's not playing anymore. The next best thing you can do is do that to Patrick Mahomes, and he did it in a Super Bowl. So happy for him. To answer your second question, I wasn't comfortable, and I didn't really feel like good, and I didn't really look at my wife and say like, we're going to win the Super Bowl until they scored like 30 points.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes has come back from 24 points in a playoff game before. This team is way better than that Texans team that he played, but 28-3 happened. I'm terrified. I don't want to count any chickens or anything like that. But once it was 30 points, I was like, oh yeah, it's over. We're going to win.
Yeah, and Laser Bolton chat saying, I honestly thought Casey was going to mount a second half comeback. Eagles D really showed up, which, by the way, as a Miami Dolphin fan, is a particular kind of pain because old stuffy shorts Fangio becomes your coach and goes to the Super Bowl. But happy for him, he's an NFL lifer. It just didn't work out in Miami for a lot of reasons in a year. Yeah, and it was fun to watch as a fan of the sport, but not necessarily the teams, but a fan of people. I'm with you. If the Dolphins had been up 17-0, I would have thought, well, we're definitely going to lose 55-17. And with Kansas City, it's realistic. But the thing that was early on, man, Mahomes had happy feet. He was not comfortable. Everything looked off for the team. The blank stare. There was a shot of the bench and Kelsey. This is early enough in the game. Kelsey had a blank stare. Just like he was like, I got to pay that credit card bill on Monday. Like he just like it's as an Eagle fan watching the game, you probably aren't picking up on that, or if you are, you don't want to believe it. But I was pretty confident early on. I could just see. And by the way, who bet for the Eagles? It was me.
Yeah, no, I wish I took your bets because I did not win money on that at all. But so the prop bets went pretty well. But no, I thought the same thing early on. Getting all the sacks on Mahomes was uncharacteristic. He's a dude who usually improvises better and doesn't go down that easy. So the fact that we were getting to him that easy and that early was amazing. You'll hear every pundit all day talking about how the Eagles got home with only 4 guys, not having a blitz, blah, 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 blah. But this is the best Eagles team I've ever seen. I think last night's performance proves there's no doubt about it. This was the best team in football this year. Best defense, defensive line, offensive line, wide receivers, tight end, defensive backs. Jalen Hurts is a dude now. He's a Super Bowl MVP. You can't take that away from him. Lamar doesn't have that. Josh Allen doesn't have that. Joe Burrow doesn't have that. A lot of those guys don't have that. So he's not the best passer in the world, but he's proven that he can do the thing. The whole point, the whole reason we do all of this, the whole reason why you want a quarterback who can throw for 5,000 yards, all that is all great and everything. The whole point's to win the Super Bowl, right? Jalen Hurts did it, won the Super Bowl MVP. That'll do.
He's up there with the greats like Trent Dilfer, Mark Rippon, and Eli Manning. All right. So you got to experience a win in 2017, you bastard. I don't even remember what a Dolphins Super Bowl win was like because I haven't been alive for one. But the game ends. How does it feel? What do you do? Do you dance with the baby? Do you scarf a pizza? Do a shot? What do you do?
Yeah. So first Super Bowl, I picked up my dog and threw my back out because my dog weighs like 70 pounds.
Smart.
Back in 2017, that was a fun one. It was on hardwood floors, slipped, had the dog and holding the dog, the whole thing. This year, that was the year me and my wife had just gotten married then. This year, as soon as they won, I kissed my wife. Baby was already in bed. Baby went to bed after the first touchdown, so at least the baby got to experience.
Okay.
She got to experience the first touchdown, so that was great. We'll always have that.
Yeah.
But just kissed the wife, told her how happy I was, told her I was so sorry for being such a pain in the ass for the last 6 hours. She understood for the most part.
Did you snack? Were you able to snack?
Oh, I had the biggest bowl of ice cream last night. Here's the thing. I was drinking all day. I pounded a big glass of water before the game, halftime, after the game. So that I think that really hit. And then I had the biggest bowl of pasta at like 1 a.m, Ken.
I love this.
And then I went to sleep.
Felt
like
for you.
$1 million when I woke up at 7 a.m.
Love it. Producer Steve, everybody. Producer Steve absolutely sharing the joy with us. I'm very happy for you. I'd say proud of you, but I know you didn't play much yesterday, but it was fun to watch. And you know what? I wasn't going to say I was rooting against Kansas City, but I think America was rooting against Kansas City, and Philadelphia delivered for us.
You can say you're rooting against Kansas City. It's okay, Ken. The rest of us were. And you know what? I paced around my living room like a champion yesterday, so I'll take my credit for that.
Well, you are a champion. Steve, thank you. We'll see you Thursday.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it.
Producer Steve, everybody. No 16 seconds of sports. It was 10 minutes of Steve celebrating. So many calls to get through. This is the best. This is the most calls we've had. So if you're on the line, be patient. I'm not leaving till I answer every call here tonight. I appreciate it. We also got a super blather from Malcolm. We're going to answer that. And then, like I said, shout out to Mike donating directly on the Morning Drive Media PayPal link. Appreciate that. And these times. So, all right, I'm just going to go here. This is an open forum. If you're on, you got to get your question in there because I am excited to hear from you. Brennan Marr's on the show here. Good to have you here, Brennan. How can you doing? How are you doing?
How can you doing? I'm doing fine.
Yeah. What's your question? What's your thought?
Well, yeah, Jared, the type that was mentioning kind of the late 90s boy band craze.
Oh, yeah.
And it got me thinking about the late 90s. So the other day, just randomly, for no real reason at all, I found myself watching clips from Titanic.
I love that. Just on YouTube, just searching for clips?
Well, only the scenes that I like.
Love it. Love it. What was
many, but
what was your number one watch scene?
Well, I mean, Old Rose, Gloria Stewart.
Okay.
I like the scenes with her.
Okay.
So do you remember, because everyone went crazy over that movie?
Yeah.
What was your sort of experience with the film at that time?
Loved it. I loved it. I actually saw it in the theater twice. Shout out to Fair Oaks Theater and Fair Oaks Cinema in Arroyo Grande, California, where I'd eventually actually work. Not too long after that. Yeah, I really enjoyed the film. It became so big that it was easy to make fun of it. Yeah. James Cameron even winning the Oscar and doing the Big King of the World, which got lambasted. Yeah. It's easy. It's so big and so popular. It's a pop song of a movie. James Cameron never won to write the greatest dialogue, but he writes good films, and he writes like I'm not a fan. I don't
it's
take
very
a dive.
George Lucas dialogue.
Very George Lucas. I don't take a dive into the Avatar films. True Lies, which was very of its time, we'll just say. But I enjoyed True Lies. I enjoy T2. Not super. Terminator 1, not high on my list because I just didn't watch.
I did Troy in the chat there. That's not my favorite scene, so don't be deceived.
Troy, I somehow think you have a VHS copy of that.
But you remember, all the hype and all the
the hype.
Was talking there, and that darn song was being played everywhere.
Which I think's a great song. Celine's a talent. I always wanted a rock song cover of that one. So Jared the Time Pilot, maybe y'all should do a cover of My Heart Will Go On. But I like the film, and I like the history in it, and I like the politics in it. James Cameron did not run away from the politics of Titanic.
And
he went right at it.
Lucas in that it's not the most subtle. It's got to hit you over the head with. This is a class warfare movie.
This is class warfare movie indeed. Steerage class. I make a joke often on stand-up comedy about steerage class and Rose and Jack dancing and eating rats, and that's the movie was very much about the Gilded Age, the leftover the Gilded Age elites and all the stuff there. So
it sounds like you didn't get too annoyed with all the older hikers.
I didn't get annoyed, but it became so popular. You naturally have that tendency to make fun of it or to think it's less than. And sometimes
there's those lines that we all quote.
Yeah, and sometimes super popular things are a little less than, and I'm okay with that. And I'm someone as a YouTube channel is probably a little less than popular, so I'm an acquired taste.
Well, I'd say you're popular.
Well, thank you, Brendan. To you, yes. But I can't always. I don't want to always sneer at things that are popular, but they are a little bit more generic. They're a little bit more wide open. They're a little bit more for the populace, for the people, versus like a David Lynch film, which is David Lynch did his art and did it for the audience that loved him.
I just watched the Straight Story the other day.
Straight Story is good.
But anyhow, just wanted to get your thoughts on where you were at that time.
That's where I was, Brennan. I was in the theater twice. Saw it twice in the theater.
Very nice.
And my favorite scene is the drunk chef on the end of the boat with Jack and Rose. So there you go.
Yep.
Brendan, thanks for calling in. Thanks for celebrating the late 90s with me.
Thank you.
All right, Brendan Marr, everyone. You can catch him on the Page Turners. They were not. And breaking news. God damn it. Speaking of things that are popular and not that great, the Hot Ones concept is pretty good. Not my style of hosting. But Ken Plume confirms that just announced Lady Gaga's on Hot Ones. Just like I wanted. I mean, am I going to watch it? Yeah, of course I'm going to watch Gaga. I follow Gaga to the ends of the earth. Am I going to have to watch Hot Ones? I guess so. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Have I done Hot Ones before? No, I should do Hot Ones proper, but I've done it on Bombadcast, and I do it again, Scotty. Michael McCarso checking in from Nolan saying, catching up at 2 times speed, can confirm people around here are pissed about Trump insisting on coming to the game just for attention. That is what we do. All right, let's get to the calls. So many calls to get to. Oh, man, I got Chris next. I got Cal, I got Anthony, I got Jonathan, I got Cam, I got Rads, I got Corey. Oh, Corey looks good on he's got some glasses. He's ready to call it. Chris King, you're on the air right now with me. It's the Blathering Live. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Ken, because like producer Steve, I am also a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So yep. So same questions to you. What point did you feel comfortable? What point did it feel real? I still don't think I even felt comfortable until like 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, just because what I've been reckoning with is like, Philly sports teams have crushed my heart so much over the years, and I'm just so used to us being losers and I also had the last Super Bowl when the Chiefs came back in the back of my head, and my dad was actually at that one and texted me at halftime like, we got this, and I still attest that he jinxed us, but
proof positive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he didn't go to this one, so I said good. I was like, if you were in New Orleans, I would have been worried the whole time. But
look, jumping in there real quick, when it was 34-0, and they said, hey, or if they said Mark Ellis said, hey, there's never been a shutout in the Super Bowl, and I went, ooh, and I go, that's probably not going to happen though. And then he texted 2 friends of his who were Eagle fans, like, hey, looking good, or something like that. And Mahomes hit that touchdown that very next play. Yep. And he was like, oh, I got to stop, because it was possible then. It was crazy, but it was possible.
Yep, absolutely. So it was good, and it made me made me think of what Steve wrote about sports. I guess what was it? I wasn't able to catch it live on Saturday. I guess Saturday. Yeah, and so I'm just really grateful that like I actually got to watch this one with my family and celebrate with my dad, and then my mom, who passed away a couple years ago, I watched the last one with her 7 years ago when we won. So it's like I have videos of it both now. I have like videos of both my parents celebrating, and it's cool.
This is why America was rooting for Philly. For once, people were rooting for Philly, the city, and the team.
And never again, but it's okay. And also, I'll let you go because I know you got a million calls. I just want to say to everybody, do yourself a favor. There's a lot of it on Blue Sky. You don't have to go to the bad place to look this up, but there's the amazing videos of my wonderful fellow Philadelphians just being absolutely crazy. I think the best one I saw today was, and someone didn't even realize that they captured it. You have someone like literally lying down on one of our subway trains, like just riding the train and the
high on cocaine.
Yes, and
wow.
We took down the poles. Yeah, it's definitely it's great. So I highly recommend if people want to laugh today, definitely watch this. Yeah.
Check that out. We will. Chris, thank you for calling in. Thank you for your support, and more importantly, thanks for your big win yesterday. Good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all me. Go Birds. Thanks, guys.
There you go. All right, Chris, calling in. We got a ton of callers tonight, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I do want to answer this super blather here from Malcolm. I said I'd do it at the top of the hour. Hey, Ken. I hope you didn't lose too much money in the Super Bowl. I kid, of course. Unrelated question. In your radio days, is there a song or artist you were surprised didn't take off, or vice versa? Great question. Yeah, you know what? There's a YouTube channel I watch a lot called like Rock and Roll True Stories. Very bare bones channel. He does a good job just putting it out there. And he'll cover a lot of 90s bands, and it's great for me to kind of go back and relive. I was thinking the one that Space Hog. In the Meantime is one of my favorite songs. It is absolutely like a top 5 radio single for me. There's great radio singles. I think the Verbs' Bittersweet Symphony, one of my favorite bands. Jeff Buckley's Last Goodbye. These are just these perfect songs that transcend even the genre that they played in, connect with other people. And Space Hog went for a while, released albums, lead singer, married Liv Tyler. Like, they lived the rock and roll lifestyle. But that band in particular, that In the Meantime came out from Resident Alien, the album, and it was like, wow, like, and I love Oasis, but it was like, stand aside, Oasis, we got a new Brit rock king, and it didn't go. It didn't go for various reasons. That might be the one that stands out the most. So that is a great question. I might have to come back to that, and you might have to do a list because there's so many songs. Just listen to Pop Rockin' Radio. Pop Rockin' Radio, another perk of becoming a Patreon supporter, because I upload all the episodes that air on the radio Saturday and Sunday nights here. All right, Kingsport Cal is ready. I think he is. We're going to bring Kingsport Cal on the show. We never know where Kingsport Cal is going to go, but he's here now. He's smoking a ciggy in hand, mic muted. Cal, hit me.
Well,
there you go.
I'm going to hit you, kid. I'm going to hit you.
What are you going to hit me with?
I don't know, Ken. I just want to tell you, it is Black History Month. I don't know if anybody has recognized that or if they understand that's happening right now.
You know what, Kingsport Cal, you're right to point it out that it hasn't been discussed here. You were right to call me on that.
No. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about in general.
I'm part of the problem. I haven't celebrated here this month. You're right to call me out.
I haven't heard anything on any of the people I watch, anything. Nobody's even said anything because Trump has put all this crap out and it's overshadowing the 1 month out of 12 that is supposed to be celebrated about people who make up a very vast majority of this country.
Anyway. The shortest month too. We gave you the shortest month. What a country.
28 days.
What a country.
Anyway. So with that, I wanted to ask you, Ken, how many black friends do you have?
How many?
I'm joking.
Historically, all time, do I have to count?
Now, wait a minute, Ken. In your defense, I do remember you talking at one point about that was some black dude you worked with or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe guy.
A few.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. A few. Well, I mean, now you're forcing me to count and in my head, and I'm like, that's not a high enough number. That's not a high enough number.
I'm just joking with you, Ken. I understand. Anyway, I did want to point out some stuff from Tennessee, some black stuff.
Yep.
Nashville was the first to integrate public bathrooms. Now, Nashville was the first Southern state to integrate.
Southern state.
Thank you very much. Yes.
What year was that?
I have no idea, but I will tell you this, Ken. My father went to school when they desegregated, and he carried a gun.
It wasn't that long ago. This is what I keep saying.
Oh,
it's just like
it was in the 60s. Yeah, he carried a gun to school because he was afraid. And my mother was supposed to go to an all black high school, but that year they desegregated. She ended up going to an all white high school, which was closer to where she lived at, even though she wanted to go to the all black high school because she could go to that. She had to go to the all white one. And she was the first black woman of this small town that I'm from to graduate high school. And let's see, something you might like. What's his name? Oh, well, one thing I wanted to point out, they talk about country. What's that dude's name? Let me look at this real quick. I know you got other calls, Ken. I'm trying to make this quick.
You're doing great. I'm looking up the information of as you call it, Nashville. I'm looking up the Nashville history of bathrooms, but unfortunately, what comes up is their transgender bathroom bill for schools in a couple years ago. So, but how far they followed?
Well, hear more about that. Look up Alexander Luby.
Okay.
And Alexander Luby and what's his name? Avon Williams and Alexander Luby are two Nashville people. They were both lawyers. And Avon Williams actually went to become the first senator for Tennessee, and that was in 1972, the first black senator. I think he served from 72 to 1992. So
I'm listening. I may have spilled alcohol on my computer.
Well, I'm sorry. You not blame that on me.
I'm not blaming that on you. It's because you got me so flustered with how many black friends do I have that I spilled my alcohol. Oh, man.
That was not my intention.
That was good rum, too, and I don't have a towel around me. All right, I'm listening. I'm going to look this up. You know I love history. I'm going to look this up. This is going to be a Wikipedia thing for me.
That is alcohol abuse, Ken. You ruined. See, it's just like the white man to come in and mess up.
Hog your coal. Hog your coal.
Mess up, and I'm trying to drop some
I got
knowledge,
so flummoxed.
You got nervous. That's what black people do to white people, Ken. They get up. They can't handle it. When we start telling them light bulbs was invented by black people, they lose their mind.
They start dropping light bulbs. Okay. I did. I spelled. I'm surprised this computer is still running. I spelled an excessive amount of rum on this computer right now.
Well,
all right.
Let me make you. Well, maybe
final point.
Few more points.
Few more points. Okay. Few more points.
Well, Morgan Freeman is from Tennessee, just so you know, just throwing that out.
Yep.
Aretha Franklin from Memphis, just throwing that out there.
Okay, yeah.
That was the guy, D. Ford Bailey. Y'all was talking about country earlier. D. Ford Bailey was the first black man to play at the Grand Ole Opry. He was a blues musician and he did country. So yes. So
are there any good docs on the Grand Ole Opry out there?
I'm sure they are. They're probably on YouTube for free. I don't know. I'm not that big. I am a big fan of country. I do like old country. I don't like the America blah 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 bullshit that started happening after 9/11. I like old country.
Wow, shit. There is one, and there is one on YouTube. You're an answer man today. Okay.
Well,
TCM has one. The Grand Ole Opry 75 years of America's music in 2000. I want an updated one, and I want the truth.
Yeah, it has been one. That's Appalachia. All that stuff. That's a lot of history here, Ken.
I stood out in front of it. I have a picture of it, Cal.
I know you have. And I also want to tell Oz Vesnick that I heard him say thank you for the super chat membership. That's cool. I heard that. I listened to you over the weekend, Ken. I was strapped at work, doing my got to make donuts. And
Yep.
It was great to have you was in my ear though. It was great. I even re-listened to them, but it's just because I wanted to hear it all over again.
Thank you.
Yes, you got some calls to get to. Yes. It's happening, Ken. It's happening. People catching on. It's happening.
Keep spreading the word.
Proud of it.
Keep spreading the word. Okay.
I like the Monday thing. Don't make me cry at 7 o'clock in the morning when I get off.
Sorry for making you cry. Okay, Cal. I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna look up the information you were telling me about. I love this. I'm
You
gonna
don't
look up the
have
history.
probably won't, just like most people.
I love
But
Nashville, or as you
no,
call
I'm
it,
talking.
Nashville. Nashville.
It's Nashville. You
Okay.
got to drop everything with the Ville goes into it.
Nashville. Okay.
Rogerville,
Okay.
Nashville. Anyway,
That's-
we like to call it Nash Vegas around here, but
It
whatever.
is Nash Vegas.
But Ken,
Perfect.
go on. I'm going to keep watching the rest, of course. And I
Thank
hope
you.
more people call. I want to hear Corey because I like to think I helped Corey walked him through it. I might
Yes, you
not.
did. Yes, you did. I'm going to get to him. All right, Cal. Thank you for calling in, buddy.
Yeah, I'll see you.
All right, Kingsport Cal from Kingsport, Tennessee. Check it in. Anthony, Jonathan, Cam, Rads, Corey, be patient. Don't leave unless you got to go to the bathroom. Then just give me a sign or just take your computer into the bathroom. On the show now is Anthony from Force Coast Conversations. Cal always being real indeed. Anthony, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Thanks for calling in, and as always.
Thanks, Ken. Pleasure to be here, and quite a victory Monday we're having.
It's a great Monday. Yeah, you're a Birds fan too, right?
I sure am wearing my Jalen Hurts Kelly Green jersey right now, Super Bowl 59 MVP. It's
Eagles fans. Yeah, Eagles fans. Debate on some of that, but yeah.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But for an Eagles fan, yeah. Same
it's
thing.
A nice
same
distraction
thing.
Today. I'll say
it's a good distraction. When did you believe? Well,
I'll be honest. I really wasn't excited for the game. I was, I didn't want my team to be responsible for 2 of the 3-peat games, right? Like, don't be in the history books twice for that. Come on now. So
that's fair.
I was just like, okay, I'll try to be as even keel as possible going into this thing. I just want whatever happens. I'm expecting the worst. I've seen the script play out before. More often than not in my head, when the scenarios play out, they're not winning at the end of all things here. I'm like, okay. Yeah. I already have my Super Bowl win in 2018, 2017.
Right.
Like, if they win today, it's icing on top of the cake, right? Most people don't get to see a Super Bowl win in their lifetime.
Yes.
I'm lucky.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think the Cooper DeJean pick 6 was like all right, we're in this, right? This isn't going to be it wasn't the opposite where they were blowing us out 40-10 or something like that, right? So I'm like, okay, they're competitive, they're in this, they at least have a game plan together. And frankly, Mahomes made a mistake, and to see him in the playoffs, which he rarely ever does make a mistake, on the biggest stage to do something like that, which also was like a pick 6 too, not just a turnover. That was a good sign, I thought. But then again, like other people have said on the call today, 10-point lead at halftime. I saw the script 2 years ago.
Right.
Tom Brady's in the booth. I saw a 28-3 score a few years ago, and somehow they pulled that out. So, okay, great. Nothing is off the table here. So I was like, hopefully at the second half, they don't kind of like lose themselves again like they did a few years ago. I think the 4th down where they stopped him on 4th down in the 3rd quarter,
right,
and then the immediate next play was that huge touchdown pass to Devontae Smith. I was like, okay, I'm believing now. I think they got this in the bag here, because the real thing is like, you have to keep scoring. How many teams just forget to you got to keep the gas on the pedal? They just
Miami does it often.
They play this prevent to lose offense. They just run the ball 3 times.
Run it out. Yep.
Think that they're going to take 3 minutes off the clock and give it to their team, and then momentum swings. And that's how they lose games. So I'm glad that they kept the gas on the pedal and just kept rolling. And I'm thrilled to see another win.
That was well deserved. I mean, the fact that Barkley didn't have the biggest game showed that they truly won on maybe I should say their own terms, but just won based off how great the team was overall.
Just all 3 phases. It was incredible.
All phases of the game. At one day, I'll have that in Miami. One day, I'll be able to experience 3 phases of football. For my team. Well, Anthony, I really appreciate you calling and sharing your joy. Did you have a specific question, or you just want to bask in the glory of an Eagles win?
A little bit of basking in the glory. I've been taking the victory lap today for sure.
Just calling into shows everywhere, radio shows, podcasts. That's great.
Well, calling into my family and friends and all that stuff, and just kind of have it, enjoying the moment, right? I mean, again, you may never get this again, so take it while you can. But I will say this game really made me excited for the future of the NFL. I would say like next year specifically, because I think if teams are smart, this is the blueprint for how to beat the Chiefs. So if you're in the AFC and you're like a Buffalo Bills, you're the Cincinnati Bengals, you're the Baltimore Ravens, right? Those teams that are like at the competing level against them, quote unquote. This is your chance. This is your opportunity to strike. You know, the Chiefs are beatable. They may lose some players over the offseason that they may not be able to replenish. And if
some are aging up.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if you're Buffalo and you think you're one play away from beating them, well, go out and spend the money and get some pieces for your defense that can stop them on a couple drives, and then maybe see what happens.
I love it. Look, as a Dolphin fan, I've seen it. Let's put in action. We just need a running game again, and I think we can do it. Anthony, I agree with you. It's fun. It was a fun game, not a close game, not a great game, but just a dominant performance, and that's sometimes fun to watch too. So,
well, I say if you're a fan of the dominating team, it's the best.
It's really good
situation ever, right? Like, who won? If your team is in it, do you really want it to be a close game where your heart is beaten out of your chest for the last 20 plus minutes of the game, or do you want like I can just sit on the couch and enjoy and bask in the glow of this victory that I'm seeing unfold in front of my eyes? Like, frankly, it's like the least Philadelphia victory I've ever seen in my life, but I'll take it. Usually, like, my heart is like on the other side of the room because of all the stress that's just been accumulating in my body. And now
the hoagie is starting to the hoagie's starting to bubble up. I feel you on that. But big win. Love it, Anthony. Were you going to do anything special for yourself today? Did you do anything special? Just brag? Get yourself an extra hoagie? How does it work?
Oh, well, I bought a Saquon Super Bowl jersey.
There you go.
That was my celebratory thing because, that was my thing. Like, if they win, buy yourself some of the merchandise, right? You don't want to buy the merchandise beforehand because then you're stuck with, now I have the Super Bowl losing t-shirt like I did 2 years ago. So
bad luck.
Now exactly. Now I got some good luck. It's enjoyable. Like, you can rewatch the highlights of the season and know that it builds up to this point, like that Saquon where he jumps over the guy backwards. Like, I love seeing that highlight now because now it shows like that was on the journey to an eventual title, and Saquon breaking all those records along the way. It was just really magical. But if they didn't win and say they lost in the Super Bowl, it'd be like, yeah, great moment, but all in all, they didn't win it at the end of the day, and it was you'd forget that, get lost in the sauce. So
gets lost in the sauce. Good way to say it. Anthony, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. We're going to talk some more football, I'm sure, here, but I love turning today into Eagle Talk Radio.
That's right. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Anthony from Force Ghost Conversations. Check out his podcast there. I was on it. It was a great conversation. Not just about Force Ghost. It's just about Star Wars in general. We are moving along here. I got Jonathan, I got Cam, I got Rads, I got Corey. Be patient, everybody. Hang in there. Callers, stay on the line. Corey, stay on the line. He gave me the bulls. He gave me the bull horns. He's ready to go. Or maybe it's the devil. Did he give you the devil sign? Oh, I don't know. We'll find out. But Jonathan's on the show as this continues. Well, I'm sure Jonathan's here to talk about some Super Bowl, right, Jonathan? We got a little sports talk radio going.
Yes. I just want to tell you, I am not an Eagles fan.
Yeah, I know you're a Commanders fan. I was watching the game with the Commanders fan yesterday. It was hard for him to take.
Hard to take, although I will say this, though. If this game kind of proves anything, we put on a better fight than the Chiefs did. I'm just going to say that right now.
That's what the thought was yesterday, that Washington, a couple fumbles away from being more competitive against this dominant team. So, you guys are in good shape next year.
Yeah. Rookie contract right here and a lot of money in cash rate. Third ranked, basically. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was going to ask you, Jonathan, how you feel about the game. How fun was it to watch as a Commanders fan? What did you eat?
Well, I missed a couple of shows. I was going to talk about, like, I ordered some pizza, some wings, basically.
Nice.
Yeah, wings from Wingstop. That's the first one.
America's wing store.
Yes, and also pizza for Pizza Hut, basically.
Love that grease.
With it.
Do you agree, though, that Pizza Hut at some point, Jonathan, has lost the plot on their dough? It is so greasy. This is why I've switched to Domino's. It's so greasy. I can't abide by Pizza Hut, which is a shame because I used to go eat inside of Pizza Hut when I was a kid. What's your thoughts on Pizza Hut? I know you want to talk Super Bowl. What's your thoughts on the Pizza Hut crust?
funny, you say the same exact thing my dad told me his experience of Pizza Hut. Basically, you and him basically shared the same sentiment, basically.
The old men unite. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Jared in chat says, I miss 90s Pizza Hut. Something changed. It could have been around the time of GoldenEye's release on the Nintendo 64, but something changed. Pizza Hut, not as good as it used to be.
I still enjoy them regardless. Okay, back to the
Jonathan, give me your 30-second or less Super Bowl analysis here. We like what you did.
I said this once, and I'll say it again. The curse is real. Remember I said this.
You said it.
15 wins.
15-win curse is real.
Yes. So you said 15 wins. The only one going to break it could have won Super Bowl, and they didn't.
They didn't.
And also, remember I said earlier, kind of the game kind of evidence one thing? Kind of show you I don't want to put any shade any Bills fans, kind of prove how pathetic their defense is against this team, basically. So from yesterday.
Yeah, shots fired across the Buffalo from you. I like it. As a Dolphin fan, I like it.
Nothing hateful. It just kind of prove how kind of they're pathetic in their defenses, basically. In kind of a damning way of it in the future, basically. Basically, in this game, kind of shows me that, like I said earlier, we got third ranked in the cap space, basically. QB is in a rookie contract. I could tell they're going to be busy in the offseason. I could tell Adam Peters is going to basically get a certain defensive player in the market, basically. Getting certain requests to win a trade.
So you're super excited as a Washington fan. You feel you guys are going to level up, that this is you next year.
Yes, basically. Like,
look at this.
If it's our highest point right here, though,
and
we're kind of middle of the road defense, basically we'll get better basically in the middle of the road. Even we had to trade like a first round pick for Myles Garrett, or basically borrow certain Eagles linebacker in free agency to do it. So be
stranger
it.
Things have happened. Look what happened when they acquired Barkley and put them over the top last year. All right, final thoughts here, John. I got a lot of calls lined up, Jonathan, so I want to get to them, but I want to hear your thoughts here. Favorite play of the Super Bowl? Favorite moment? When did you know? With your excellent NFL analysis brain, when did you know Philadelphia had this?
Basically, the touchdown to Devontae Smith, I kind of know it's pretty much is over, basically. And I had that 20-3 in my head. Like, I'm not gonna so relax this easy. I know this kind of game goes, basically. So I have to be sort of being careful while I was watching the game. And basically, yeah.
Love it.
Really good.
Jonathan, you were right. I'm saying it publicly. You had said a while ago, no 15-win team is going to win the Super Bowl this year. You had talked about the curse. You were right. We'll listen to you more going forward.
Thank you. And I feel much going forward. All right.
Thanks, Jonathan. Jonathan calls in here all the time. Some great football analysis. A lot of fun. It's overtime. I was going to try to wrap it at 5, but we ain't leaving till these calls come in here. And I want to catch up with some of the comments here from the members. Ken and Ken, DS9. Yes, DS9. You guys want me to watch the DS9. And then I didn't answer the second part of Malcolm's question, which was I'd answered the first part. There was a song artist that we were surprised didn't take off. I talked about Space Hog after in the meantime, or vice versa. So I'm going to have to come back to that and think about of something that was surprising that I remember hearing and thinking, that's not going to do well, but took off. I'm going to have to think about that one. I will say this. Towards the end of my radio run in the 90s, Blink 182 stuff was starting to come over. We had a couple singles of early Blink stuff. I ended up being one of my closest friends, big Blink fan. Quote Cody Hall, big Blink fan. But I remember hearing some of the early songs, and I went, this is not going to do anything. Like, what is this the next wave? Nah, this is bad. And I definitely was wrong. All right, Cam's calling in here. Cam's on the show. Cam, thanks for being here. Thanks for laughing at Kingsport Cal making me uncomfortable. And what do you got?
That was my I think I said when I made my debut a couple weeks ago that I'm new around the blathering part. So that was my introduction to Cal, and that was, man, I'm spitting out my water out of my nose. That was awesome. I watched the Super Bowl from Paris, Ontario.
Okay.
Yes. Ooh. And contrary to popular belief, that all Canadians are supporting Drake. It really was not the case in where I was. No, we were all going nuts for Kendrick.
Do you disavow Drake? What's I got to jump in there. What's the thought? Is Drake just embarrassing you as a country? What is it?
I think it became a joke at a certain point, especially a couple years ago, that Drake was a little corny, a little corny.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think
fair.
maybe his coolness factor dropped, and then the Kendrick just completely blew it out of the water. It was it would be like Bret Hart getting booed in at the Rogers Center, or the Sky Dome. Sorry.
Yeah. Absolutely. Always be Sky Dome to me, damn it.
That's right.
Fascinating. Okay. Interesting.
So
interesting.
That was, I just wanted to set the record straight that, it's not just Canada. We're losing a lot of our icons. All right. Wayne Gretzky's going to the White House. Drake's getting embarrassed at the Super Bowl. We got Celine Dion and we're in Martin Short and we're holding on to them.
I mean, you're holding on to him. God bless him. You lost Alec Trebek. Legend. Matthew Perry. Right? I mean,
we need some more Canadian icons coming up. But I won't take up too much of your time, Ken.
Okay.
The one thing I wanted to ask is and excuse me if this has been talked about before around these parts, but with so many football fans here, what are the odds we could set up a Ken Napzok fantasy football league? Is this already in existence? Is this something that people would have interest in?
Years ago on my Patreon page, we had a fantasy baseball league through Yahoo. It didn't catch on much, but I think next year, I think this is more than possible. We'll find a way to make this work, as long as I myself don't have to commission it.
I would happily do it.
Cam's volunteering from Canada. This might work. I think if we get we can work towards this. Let's do the old business talk. Let's circle back around the time of the NFL draft. We'll get it set up. I think we could have a pretty competitive, fun, if not bitter and angry fantasy football league here at the Blathering.
It could be fun. You could, maybe I'm not trying to do your job, obviously, but you could do like a 60-second fantasy football update weekly. Something kind of fun there. I don't know.
I'm listening. Everyone's listening. I think you might be on. I haven't done fantasy football since the late 2000s. The last time I actively played on Yahoo leagues. Then I've been in baseball, my baseball league for 27 years now, but I think this could be the time. The reason in the past I wouldn't have been interested, Cam, is I was not watching football as closely, but even then it was like I only kind of knew the Dolphin players. Now I feel I know enough of the league that I could draft myself and have a competitive team. So, all right.
Yeah, and there's something to the rookie effect. I always find that the leagues I'm in, the rookies come in, they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. The person that says they're going to fail the test and then they ace it. And that usually happens. So I think it could be good. I also failed to mention last time I talked to you, Ken, that I am also a Miami Dolphins fan. I don't know if I.
Oh, I don't think you caught that. Okay.
Yeah, my dad indoctrinated me from a very young age,
and you stuck with it.
And he told me, I remember being like 6 years old, and he told me, he's like, "Don't do it." I mean, I remember it was one of my earliest memories, and I didn't listen. And every time they have a bad loss, he just texts me, he's like, I told you back in 2008 that you shouldn't have done it.
Told you to get out. Oh, 2008 too. Oh my God, yeah. There was some weird hope in 2008 range. The Chad Henne years into the Chad Pennington years. We thought we had some shots. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's been bad, but you know what? My dad had to go to a Super Bowl party with all Bills fans that are on his slow pitch team. So he was very nervous at that Chiefs Bills game a couple weeks ago. So
yeah,
I'm happy for him that he didn't have to sit through a Bills Super Bowl win in Bills country.
We will all be celebrating next year when Miami beats Washington in the Super Bowl. Mark it down here. I said it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ken.
Cam, thanks for being here, my friend. Thanks for representing Canada and letting us know that even Canada has problems with Drake. We needed that today. Cam calling in. Jerry the Cannon Junkie is here. Says, where's the Duncan I was promised? Yeah, did I promise you Duncan? Get your own Duncan right now. Get your Duncan. Call Ben and Casey Affleck. Check out Jerry's interview here. We had a great interview a couple weeks ago here on the feed. Got some more interviews in the works. Those are coming as well. Blathering Conversations. All right, Rads and Corey, they have been so patient. Rads, you're on the line next, though I don't set. There you are. He hears me. Rads, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hi, good to see you. Just calling in to say, go Birds! Thanks for believing us.
This is I'm glad to carry the flag for Eagles fans everywhere, I guess.
I know I don't sound like an Eagles fan, but you know.
How did you become an Eagles fan?
So mostly it was an excuse to drink, watch the Super Bowl. Then I chose my team. The only place I had any kind of family was in Philadelphia. So going Birds fan.
And what specific part of the world over there are you from?
Originally from Reading, where the festival is in the UK. So now live down the south coast.
That's all you need to say, because me as an American just going to go, yep, I know Reading. That's it. Yeah. That's all I know. That's great. Thanks for calling in, my friend, and listening. But what is on your mind? How can I help you? What questions can I answer?
Just wanted to know if you've got any sporting superstitions at all.
Do I have any sports superstitions? Yep.
You do to win. So halfway through it was the Browns game. Halftime we were drawing, decided to turn my cap round back, look like Fred Durst for no real reason. And we won. So I kept on doing that until the Washington Commanders game, where I didn't have my hat on me. Yeah. We lost that game. So of course, all the way through the playoffs, I'm saying to my friends, I'm going to look like an idiot, but here we go. I've got to wear my cap backwards. So,
that's
not
great.
Saying I'm the only reason for us winning, but
Yeah, you are. Rads is the reason. Producer Steve, mark it down. Rads is the reason. Sports superstitions. I love superstitions in sports. In the short time that I played baseball, I think I tried to cultivate some for myself, but I don't think I really did. But what I do like is routines and quiet moments before. Now, this is not about watching sports, but in being parts of it. So I enjoy, when it was baseball, I was one of the first to the field. In pro wrestling, one of my favorite things to do was to get to the ring when it was set up. No one was there, just workers running the ropes, just to soak it in. Little superstitious, little routine. But when it comes to watching the Dolphins, I don't have any, or the Yankees, I don't have any superstitions, but I notice I do this with the Dolphins. I don't really watch the game. I work. I have a laptop near me and I'll watch a play. And if it doesn't go my way, I'm not watching this, and I'll watch it, but I just concentrate. So that might be some sort of a superstition because they've won a lot of games while I'm watching them. So I think it's that kind of if I disassociate, the football gods will reward me. So it's kind of a superstition. Where I go with it. But I didn't do any 6 pieces of gum, any of that stuff. Did you? Have you played any sports? Do you carry those superstitions with you?
Not particularly. I'm a larger fella, so I've never been the most sporty. Would have been more so if I'd not felt like a complete outcast in the weights room. I'm trying to go, 5 days a week at the moment and try to get better with that. So I think if the NFL had existed, I would have actually, taken that up at school. We obviously didn't have that. So I was never good enough with my cardio for things like football. I did play it a little bit as a kid, but never good enough for that. But I could have been a Jason Kelsey kind of lineman sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, hey, maybe that's not in the cards, but we're here to support any journey you take in that gym. I have been out of mine for 2 weeks and looking forward to get back. It's hard. So if you're saying you're going 5 days a week now, is that what you said?
For the most part, this week is going to be a little less because I've got to go up to London and got a job interview and things. But
good for you. Good for you, man. Good for you. I appreciate you checking in from the UK too. I know it's late over there, right?
Yes, it's about 1:30.
Yeah, so we'll get you to bed. But Rads, I appreciate you calling in. Appreciate the support. Okay.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Rads, cheers indeed. Cheers indeed. There you go. Thank you for all the comments tonight. We got one more big call. I told myself we're gonna wrap at 5 tonight, but look at this. Look at this. I'm still going. But anyways, I'm happy to have him here on the show. He figured out how to call in. Big generous super chat last time out. I really appreciate it. Corey, you're here, buddy. How are you doing?
Can you hear me?
You are on, baby, and it's great.
All right, great. I was actually just wondering if you've ever so Meatloaf.
Yeah. The dish or the performer?
The dish.
Here in the Blathering, it could go either way. Okay, yes.
Right.
Meatloaf the dish.
So I was wondering do you like meatloaf?
It's a hard sell, right? That loaf word is not going to make a lot of fans, but anytime I break through that apprehension to the name, I enjoy it. Meatloaf with some gravy or sauce and some green beans and mashed potatoes all stirred up into one tasty bite. Once I'm there, Corey, I'm past it, and all my hang-ups are gone.
Yeah. Okay, so imagine this. Imagine a meatloaf patty.
Right.
On a warm toasted brioche bun.
Yes. This is so you're suggesting a meatloaf burger, which seems off. It seems off-putting. It doesn't seem natural, but it's really just meat in a different form. It should be more universally accepted. I like this idea. You have your own recipe.
I do. It's actually my grandma's recipe. So my grandma, when I was a boy, my grandma made these things, and we didn't know what to call them. She just made them, and then we put it on hamburger buns, and that was it.
See, I want one of these. You might have to. What we'll have to do, we have to do a proper good bad food. But I don't want to classify this as bad. It's not fair to Meatloaf to say it's bad. But you'll have to. You know what you have to do, Corey, is post. We got some pictures of this and what it looks like. A good brioche bun meatloaf. What do you call it? Grandma's loaf burgers? Like what do you call it?
No, I call it my Graham burger.
Oh, I like this. I like
my Graham burger.
Graham burger. I'm excited to this. A lot of people reacting to this. Tully's here. Tully says sauce is. What kind of sauce you got on there? Take me through it.
No sauce.
No sauce.
No sauce. Actually, you know what? My wife is French.
Okay.
She makes homemade brioche buns.
Oh yeah.
So I take the brioche bun, put a little butter on the saute pan, put the bun, toast it a little bit.
Love it.
The patty that I make, it's you just saute it, or maybe if you want to, you can bake it.
Okay.
Regardless, it's delicious.
It's a good loaf. Okay. All right.
And that's
what do you serve it with? What's the good sides?
It's the toasted brioche buns, the patty, and then that's it.
That's it. It's the main event. You don't need anything else.
If you want to, you can maybe add a little ketchup.
Ketchup and loaf usually go together. I like this idea. And a lot of people in chat are excited about the meatloaf idea here. A lot of meatloaf fans here tonight.
If you want to, you can maybe sprinkle in a little bit of cheddar, maybe dice up some jalapenos, and you can mix that into the burger. But basically, it's just a meatloaf patty.
Yeah.
On a warm toasted brioche bun.
Look, it makes it convenient. You know, it's like how hot dogs came about. We got to find a way to conveniently serve this hot stick of meat. So why not do this with the loaf? And a lot of people in chat sharing their own favorite versions of loaf. Jerry, the Cannon Junkie, said in high school, friends, dad owned a gas station restaurant that was very popular with locals for a minute, and they had a meatloaf sandwich that was excellent. Vermont Mike talked about ground meat with the breadcrumbs, and another early burger was loaded with onions, Oklahoma style. You know what, Corey? You're representing the Meatloaf Nation here. I think we need to dive in deeper here on a further episode of the Blathering to the fans of meatloaf.
It doesn't work out so well on the grill.
It seems crumbly. It's got to be a bake, like you said.
So it has to
stovetop.
Be a skillet or a flat top kind of deal. But
I like this. Graham burger. Corey's Graham burger. I'd like one right now. I've got some I got some dinner on the way tonight. I got to figure out what to eat. And now I'm going to be disappointed that I don't have a graham burger.
Yeah. I made pizza last night for Super Bowl.
Oh, you made your own pizza? Gosh, you got your wife making brioche buns. You're making pizza.
Yep.
That's the life, man.
So the trick is you make the dough. You let it sit for 5 days.
5 days for the dough.
In the refrigerator in a container.
You got to plan this. I like that sometimes.
Then you roll the dough out. You make pizza circles, and you let them sit for about 8 hours.
8. Hey, I don't have this kind of patience.
Down. You flip the pizzas upside down because the after they sit, they're going to dry out. The bottoms of the crust are going to dry out.
Mm-hmm.
So and they're just going to be perfectly crispy when you put them in the oven.
I love everything about this, Corey. You a cook? You got a cooking thumb? Is this a hobby?
I guess I would call myself an artist. I like to know everything about everything.
This is spectacular. I respect it. Game recognizes game. This is good. The Blathering stands behind Meatloaf. Let that be known. Let that be known to the world. Corey, thanks for being patient. Thanks for calling in. Any final thoughts on Meatloaf from you before we close up tonight?
I actually really love meatloaf. If you have a good recipe for a meatloaf, but the meatloaf is a different recipe than what you would do for the patties.
Yes,
that's a whole different world.
Yeah, maybe we got to start the Blathering sub Discord of good bad food recipes where we all can meet together and share recipes. This might be the fantasy football idea and the Blathering good bad food discussion group. These are ideas that have emerged from tonight's show.
But when you guys did the food segment the other day,
yes,
I wanted to put my graham burgers in there because they're fantastic. It's a fantastic recipe.
The graham burger has been entered into history as Blathering approved. Vermont Mike says YouTube is loaded with meatloaf burger videos. Rabbit hole, here I come. That's what I'll be doing tonight as well. Corey, thank you so much for your unwavering support and your love of meatloaf that you're sharing with us here tonight. Sir. Thank you, Corey. Corey calling in. Cameron says, meet and greet with Ken Napzok. The meat spelled appropriately to represent me. What a great show tonight. I sometimes sit down and don't know where I'm going to go with the shows. I knew I wanted to get to what was going on with Kendrick. Shout out to Jared the Dark Jedi for calling in about that one. I knew he was going to take some calls. Sometimes we have nights where there's no calls. Sometimes I feel like I'm begging for calls. Other times we have our regulars, and tonight a ton of new voices or returning voices to the show. You guys truly make this community. I have a lot going on in my own life. You all got a lot going on in your own life. We're just trying to survive, just trying to get through this, just trying to find our way through the mess that is this world right now. And that's not even just politically, just sometimes day-to-day survival is tough for all of us. You guys absolutely make this community what it is. I can't thank you all enough for coming in here. Sometimes we get serious. Sometimes we face things head on. Sometimes we have fun distractions. Sometimes we just share meatloaf recipes. And that's why I love the Blathering. We'll do it again Thursday night. Tell your friends about what we do here. Thanks for your support. Thanks for the super chats. Malcolm, as always. Michael on the PayPal side. Thanks for the subs that you guys continue to do here just on the channel or the membership subs. Appreciate it. And thanks for the likes. Looking at it, we had 36 likes, 37 likes. Like the show on the way out so we can help tell YouTube that we got a good thing going on here. That's it. We'll see you soon. Bye.